Alright, what's happening everybody? It's your boy Akeem here to finish things off with my top 15 quarterbacks for the 2015 fantasy football season. Now I just gave you numbers 30 to 16 just a couple minutes ago, and I'm going to now give you my top 15. Starting at number 15, my quarterback from the San Francisco 49ers, Colin Kaepernick. Now last season he did pass for over 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and he did rush for just over 600 yards. I think those numbers will definitely duplicate this season, except for the rushing touchdowns. He only had one rushing touchdown last season. I think he should get at least 6 this year, so those numbers should definitely increase as far as your fantasy points. At number 14, I'm going to have to go with another dual threat quarterback in Cam Newton from the Carolina Panthers. Now, I have noticed that some people have had him cracked in the top 10 in their projections, but with the loss of Kelvin Benjamin, who torn his ligament and he's going to be out for the season, I think that Cam Newton is going to struggle a little bit throwing the football because they don't really have any top tier targets except for Greg Olsen, the tight end. They do have a couple of decent receivers, but their top target this year should possibly be Greg Olsen. So look out for your fantasy tight ends this year for Greg Olsen. Now I think he's going to do well as far as running the football, and he's probably going to rely more on running the football. But in order for him to protect his career, he's going to have to stay in the pocket and not run so much, so he doesn't have to deal with much punishment as far as hits. At number 13, I'm going to have to go with Philip Rivers of the San Diego Chargers. Now, he has had a great Hall of Fame career. I think he's a great quarterback. Now, he had 31 touchdown passes and 18 interceptions last season, and plus another 4,000 yards passing. I think he's going to have at least those same numbers this year. And with the addition of Melvin Gordon, I think that will definitely put some relief away from Philip Rivers, and I think that teams will try to respect as far as Melvin Gordon and running the football, opening things up for Philip Rivers to pass the football. At number 12, I'm going to have to go with Matthew Stafford of the Detroit Lions. Now, last season, he did have a down year, finishing off 15th in fantasy points. Now, he had over 4,200 yards passing, 22 touchdowns, just 22 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. I see him getting at least 30 touchdown passes this season. At number 11, I'm gonna have to go with the New York Giants' Eli Manning, who's actually looking to become the highest paid player, highest paid quarterback in the National Football League. As far as his extension, I think that's not a good idea for the New York Giants. They should definitely just pay and finish him off this year. And if he is threatening leaving the team, go ahead and let him go and pick up a quarterback in 2016. But he did have some good numbers last season, and better numbers: 30 touchdown passes and 14 interceptions, compared to 2013, in which he passed for over 20 interceptions last season. Just need to do a good job. And with the return of Odell Beckham, the rookie sensation, he had a Rookie of the Year honors last season. At number 10, cracking the top 10, is at Tony Romo at number 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he had 3,705 yards passing last season. I think this year he will have over 4,000 yards passing because of the loss of DeMarco Murray, who is now with the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 9, I'm gonna have to go with Tom Brady of the New England Patriots. I think still a great player, one of the elite quarterbacks of the National Football League. Now, he's going to be suspended for the first 4 games of the season due to the deflation game against the Indianapolis Colts in that AFC Championship. But last season he had impressive numbers: 33 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions. At number 8, I'm going to go with Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints. Now, this is a surprise for a lot of people. Some people believe that he should be in the top 5, but the reason why I had to crack him just behind top 5 is because of the loss of Jimmy Graham, one of the top receivers, possibly the biggest target for Drew Brees. With the loss of him, they don't really have that much of receiving core, as well as the loss of Kenny Stills, who is now with the Miami Dolphins. Marcus Colston is not playing up to par for the past couple of seasons, so they're going to have to depend more on Brandon Cooks this year. I'm not really feeling the receiving core this season, and I think because of that, that's why I had to bump him back to number 8. At number 7, I'm going to have to go with Ryan Tannehill of the Miami Dolphins. Now, he has shown improvement on last season. He had 27 touchdown passes and 12 interceptions. I think he's going to be due for a 30 touchdown pass season, and he did rush for over 300 yards last season as well. At number 6, I'm gonna go with Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons. He had 28 touchdown passes last season, and he did finish 7th overall in fantasy points with Julio Jones as his leading target. At number 5, cracking the top 5, I'm gonna have to go with Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, with the emergence of Antonio Brown, he had a great season last season. He actually been having a great season for the past 2 years. I think with leading the team and leading the league in receiving last season as his leading target for Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger should definitely have another great year. Now, Roethlisberger passed for just under 5,000 yards last season, 32 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions. At number 4, an NFL great, Peyton Manning out of the Denver Broncos. Now, I knew that he wasn't going to have the big season that he had in 2013, but he still had a great year in 2014. 39 touchdown passes, but he did have 15 interceptions, and he is 39 years old. I see him having at least 2 more good seasons of his career. At number 3, I'm going to have to go with Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. Last season, he actually finished 3rd overall with 3,400 yards, over 3,400 yards passing, 20 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, but he did have 849 yards rushing and 6 scores. But this year, I think that the offense is going to depend more on him throwing the football. He's going to be a much smarter quarterback. He did sign a 4-year contract extension, over $80 million, $20 million a year, which is well deserved after reaching back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. Russell Wilson is still a great quarterback. He's an amazing quarterback, and I think he's going to do a better job passing the football. He's still a good passing quarterback already, but I think he's going to be used more in throwing the football instead of running the football to protect his career. At number 2, Andrew Luck of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this is another elite quarterback in my opinion. 40 touchdown passes and 16 interceptions, and he definitely has T.Y. Hilton as his top target entering this season. And at number 1, this is an obvious pick, the NFL MVP last season, Aaron Rodgers. He actually was number 1 overall in points last season as well, with 4,381 yards passing, 38 touchdowns and just 5 interceptions last year. And with the stellar MVP performance, the race was between him and J.J. Watt, the defensive end out of the Houston Texans. But this was a well-deserved award last season again for Aaron Rodgers. He's definitely an NFL great, and he's definitely having the Green Bay forget about Brett Favre, who actually had won a Super Bowl ring without Brett Favre. Now that wraps things up with my top 30 quarterbacks. The next time I'm going to catch you guys will be in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you my top 30 running backs. Thank you for watching this vlog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.